So this tap isn't supposed to come off like that. We've got to fix this tap on this job. I've been away for a week or so, that's why you haven't had many videos recently, but we're back. We've got a massive list of jobs to get through. This is the first one. We've got to switch this tap out for a customer of mine. I've picked up a new Frankie one. He said he wanted one that's hopefully not going to do that. So, easy job to start with. Get this out, get it swapped over, get a new Frankie tap in, then we're back on it. We've got another little job to do this afternoon, and we've also got to try and source some tiles from Porcelanosa, which I think is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm Mark, this is Real World Plumbing. Let's get on with it. Right, as I said in the intro, we have got this. The tap spout has just sheared off. Now, it happened when I was away, and Tony, who's out there fixing his bike, rang me last week. I was away on holiday, so I said to him, as soon as I get back, we'll get this sorted out. So it looks like it's just sheared off. Now, what he did, he just put some glue around it, and it held it in place there until I got back. So at least now we can get it swapped out, and it just, I mean, that just looks like it's snapped off the thread or something like that. But we picked the new tap up, nice Frankie one. He said, just get us one, a decent tap. So we've got that, and luckily for us, underneath here, isolation valves, we can just whip them off. As always, Unilite Tapex kit, get it up to the back of the cupboard and get that out. So first off, let's have my coffee and get them isolation valves shut off. We can start draining it down and get that tap out. So we can just get to them isolation valves in there. We'll turn that one off, turn that one off, and then we'll get the nuts took off the top and get these hoses out of the way, and then we should, if I reach up, should be able to get to the nut at the back of there with that Unilite kit, which comes in so handy. I've said it before, these are a lifesaver, especially on jobs like this. There we go. Put my little rag down the bottom just to catch a bit of water, because it's bound to come out. It looks like they've doubled up on the hoses in this. Now, oh yeah, there we go. Right, we've got the Unilite Tapex kit. Let's get the 12mm socket on the end there and reach up. I don't know if you can make it out. See if I can get it up. Reach up there and get that nut off somehow. It's going to be tight. There we go, sorted. Let's get that out and get it cleaned up. Remember a few months ago, we'd done that sink, that ceramic sink that you had to knock the hole out of it. This is the same sort of one. And you can see that they've just, I can see the drill marks here where they've done exactly the same as what I did. Probably drilled it out, filed it down to try and get the hole for that. So I'm not the only one. I bet if I, yeah, there's a knockout this side as well. Yeah, I can feel, in fact, you can probably see it. Yeah, there you go. There's the knockout for this side. So it's, to be fair, it looks like it's probably exactly the same sink. But that's the tap out. Let's get the new one unpacked, made up, and get it into place. Right, that's that tap into place now. Let's get these isolation valves turned back on. That's the hot on and the cold, if I can get it through. Cold on, and then we'll give it a test. Make that take that out. There we go, job done. nice, easy little typical jobbing job. Got that done. We'll tidy up under here, get the door back on, and that's that one ticked off. On to the next one.
And it still works, but what's happening is, it takes ages for it to fill up now.
Right.
The other one, I tried them both together,
yeah.
That one fills up in seconds. This one, you can fill that up 20 times.
Oh really? It's just gone really slow?
It's just slow, and we're having people over soon, and we want them queuing up outside.
Okay, we'll have a look and see if there's anything obvious.
This is whipping out to here as well.
Right, okay.
When it's filling up, I don't know.
Let me have a look, mate, and we'll go from there.
Want a brew?
Oh, I'd love a coffee, Rob, please.
Sugar?
Milk, no sugar.
No sugar?
Milk, no sugar, yeah.
Milk, no sugar?
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is whip that off the front there and see if something's blocking it. If it's slowly got worse over time, it's probably something just blocking it inside. So what I'll do, because I can't get to the isolation valve in the back here, I'll get the water off. Can I turn your water off, Rob? Is it under here?
Perfect.
I'll find it.
Pull that out, yeah. It's one of them.
There we go.
You've got loads of taps.
There we go.
I don't know if that's the end coming or not.
Yeah, I think it is.
Switch that on.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh, you know this.
Just leave that one on for a minute. Right, with the water off, let's have a look. Let's empty that again. We replaced that cartridge at one point on that shower. So let's get my little grips and just pop the front off here. Hopefully there'll be a little bit of grit inside it. Sometimes it can be blocked in there. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's just a little bit of grit inside.
Oh, all right.
Hopefully, obviously try the easy ways first.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And because you've got a lot of building work going on around here as well, sometimes it can, if they're cutting into the mains a lot, it can...
it's off a lot.
Yeah, so it can, like, if they're cutting in, it can drag a bit of grit or anything up. Just pop that water back on, Rob. It's a little bit better. Not a lot, I don't think. Yeah, I'll grab it. I'll pop it on the floor.
Don't burn your fingers, okay? Don't worry.
So.
I've put a lent in on.
Perfect, thank you. I'm sure they just unscrew off. There we go, I thought they did. So I've cleaned it through, let's see. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, but let's give it a go. How quick does the other one fill up? So that's how it should be filling up. And that's how it is filling up, yeah. Right. Let's whip it up and see what's going on. So first off, let's get the water turned off. Right, with the water off, let's drop that out. And I can just about reach under there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Move some of them. I don't want to be breaking them. I don't know if the GoPro will pick it up. I might just be able to get to that flexi with a bit of luck. Right then, we've been out to try and find a replacement valve for that. Now, interestingly, I filmed the first half of this video with some new Meta glasses with a built-in camera. So let me know what you think of that first part. Obviously, I don't know if this is going to pick up on the screen. The GoPro, because of these lights, there's that vertical bar that's going through it. Anyway, thought I'd let you know because I've just got these. I'm trying a different way of filming a few little sections of the video. So, went to try and get a SciAmp 99B valve. Can't get one anywhere for love nor money. So, if I've got to split the system, which we've now got to do, I'm going to fit a Dudley HydroFlow into there because obviously I work with Dudley anyway, so I'm going to put their products in as and where I can. So it just means it's going to be a bit of a fiddle because there's not much access there. There's not much access there. The reason being is, even swapping the washers out on the top bit and we've opened the valve up with the main on, I think there's some crap in the actual inlet. Because where we are at the minute, there's a lot of building work going on, as you may have heard. So I think there's some crap that's got in there. So either way, this has got to come off and we'll replace it with that. So I might switch to the old Meta glasses and start getting this off.
So first off, I've got to get my arm right up underneath that toilet, undo the bolts that are holding the cistern on, and then get my grips in and get onto the end of the flexi pipe. It's a little bit of a fiddle, but it's one of those things, when you've done them so many times, you work out a little knack of doing it. Then take the screws out the top, and then we can lift the cistern off the top of the pan.
So a little bit of word of warning, when you're splitting a cistern, always have a spare donut washer kicking about, because we'll take that off and replace it, but because you've took it apart, it can be a bit of a pain. Now there's a washer in the bottom, or the little flow regulator in the bottom. Let's see if there's any crap on that filter. I can't really see. We'll switch it out anyway. So let's get this nut off here and take this valve out.
So we get that plastic nut off the bottom. Obviously this old one, this SciAmp one, has got a plastic thread. So we'll replace it with the Thomas Dudley one, and these Thomas Dudley ones always come with a brass thread at the bottom. It makes it so much easier. And then also make sure they're the same height, so it's going to feel the same. Get our washer onto the bottom of the fill valve, and then we can get it into place. Now there's a little chamfer on the bottom of these nuts that centralises that brass end coming through the bottom of the cistern. So it's always handy, make sure that is facing inwards, and it will centralise the fill valve into the cistern. So we get that tightened up, give it a little nip up. It doesn't have to be massively tight, but enough just to stop it from leaking. Then don't forget to change that donut on the bottom of the cistern. The last thing you want is to reuse the one that's on, because they leave an impression and you can see where it's been sat in the pan before. So pop your new one on there, and then you know it's going to be good as gold when you refit it. So we'll lift that cistern up into place, make sure everything lines up, poke it through, and then all we've got to do then is get the back nuts onto it, reconnect the water feed to it, and away we go. It's a little bit of a fiddle again, especially with my big arms trying to get them up under there. But as I said, once you've done them a few times over the years, you can sort of do it with your eyes closed. So we'll crack on with this, get this done, and then we can get it filled up.
So we've got the wing nuts on the bottom now. I'm just going to try and pull it down ever so slightly more to get rid of that lip. I know there was a lip there before, and the lines and the holes line up, but I just want to try and get it a little bit tighter down. So with the water back on, Thomas Dudley valve in, we'll give it a flush. It's just filled up loads quicker. You'll see it now. Once I've flushed it, you'll see how quick it fills up compared to before. There we go. Flying out now. Won't take long for that to fill up, but I did notice, and I've just done this, tap this on the floor. This is the old one. Oh, there you go. It's a load of mud and grit and whatnot that is coming out of there. That one, so that was the issue with that one. Thomas Dudley one should be fine now, touch wood. Got to do that, so superstitious. But yeah, we'll leave that to fill up. We'll give it a test a few times, But hopefully that's that job done. It wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be an absolute pain. Splitting cisterns off toilets can be a pain. Luckily, this one was all right. It's when the nuts and that go wrong at the back, rusted on and that, you've got to get your multi-tool out and all that sort of stuff. And I know for a fact you're not getting a multi-tool up through the back of there. So what can be a little job can sometimes turn into a massive, massive issue. Toilet's fixed.
Oh, brilliant.
Well done.
I swapped it out to swap it out, Rob, as I said. But yeah, it's just a case of splitting that off. The old one had some, I'll show you in a minute, the old one had some grit in it. So whether it's got to have been from where they've been cutting into the mains and whatnot.
Yeah.
You may find you get some condensation on the front of these.
Yes.
Because the house is warm and obviously that's cold.
Yes.
You get a little bit of condensation on them. There we go. Done. So, as you can see behind, I'm at Porcelanosa. I've got a bathroom to do and the customer wants the bath taken out and a shower tray putting in. Now, the property where she's at is probably 2 years old, so it's completely tiled in Porcelanosa tiles at the minute, so we need some extra, but we don't know what tile it is. The customer has given me a tile that she had left over from when the builder's done it. Now, I've been to a couple of tile places down near me and no one can seem to match that, or they haven't got the codes that Porcelanosa used to match that tile. They said they can get them, but they need the code, which has turned into a complete nightmare. So what I've had to do is come over to Solihull Porcelanosa with their tile to see if I can match it up, see if they can supply them. If not, I've got to take the code for that tile back to my tile shop to see if they can then order it from these guys. So we're going to take this in, have a chat with them. Hopefully they don't mind me filming, see if they can match this one up. So let's go in, see what they have to say. It's a pretty cool place. I don't know if they're going to be all right with me filming in here. Look at this. Looks very nice. How you doing? I'm after a bit of help if possible.
Yeah, sure.
Are you all right with me filming? Is that all right? Just want to, basically, I've got a customer who has got these Porcelanosa tiles in her bathroom at the minute.
Yeah.
I just need to match it up. I need to order 8 more, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know which one it is.
You do? Yeah. Straight away, there you go, straight away. I'll pop it there.
I'll just check to see how long it's in the box.
Yeah, because the house is a couple of years old, but she didn't have the code for whatever it was. Can I order them direct from you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
then you can pay here and then collect them from the warehouse,
Right.
which is near Marston Green.
Right, okay.
They're not kept here.
Right.
They should have plenty of them. So.
Yeah, well, for now, because I've just got to get a price up for
Price.
them. Yeah, so I just need to match them and then
Okay.
see what they're at. I usually go to my tile place. I'm from Warwick, so I go to my tile place in Leamington.
Yeah.
I popped in to see if they could match that, and they went. And I went, do you know what? I'll fly over here, and makes life a lot easier, especially as you knew straight away.
So yeah, 7 in the box. And there's loads of them.
Perfect.
So I'll tell you your details. I could print you a photo.
Oh, magic! Thank you. Yeah, I'll work out exactly how many we need and get a price to her. Where's the warehouse? Marston Green. Perfect. So you've been able to. So that's exactly what it is. Nice one, mate. Absolute pleasure.
No worries.
Cheers. Perfect. Thank you. So just popped over to Porcelanosa instantly. As soon as I come in, knew exactly what tile it was. Peter up here has just matched it up, got a price. That's took a lot of stress about getting this job sorted. So we'll go and get the price to the customer, and we'll go from there. Right then, just come to a customer's house and he rung me about his bath leak, and they had water coming through the ceiling downstairs through a light fitting. So we've come out to see if we can find it. Now, there's a slight problem with leaks like this. It can be a bit of a pain. So I've filled the bath up completely. So we're running through the overflow and there's nothing showing through the overflow. What is there? But you can see around the outside, there has been a leak of some sort. Now the customer said to me, this is all wet at times, so if we fill it all the way up, test the waste, then test the overflow, and just see if there's anything obvious. The problem is, sometimes when you do jobs like this, you can't fix what you can't see, so we've got to try and replicate it to see if we can work out exactly where the leak's coming from. So we'll check all under there, and then we'll run it constantly for a bit through the overflow and see if it's coming through there at all. So I'm running it so it's constantly coming through there, and I've noticed ever so slightly, if we can see it. You see that? It's just trickling down, and obviously running down the bottom there. You can see some watermarks where it has been coming round. So what we'll do, let's see if that's, oh yeah, it's really loose actually. Right, let's get the water drained out. So to be fair, when we empty it now, let's turn that off quickly. When we empty it now, in theory, the waste should be fine because we've worked it out, but it's coming out the overflow. Oh no, it's coming out of there as well. Right, I think we found the issue. It's a bit of everything. Yeah, here we go. Look, if I open the waste here, and obviously it comes down that cable and into that block at the back. So if I open that, get the light on it, you can see the water. There you go, coming out of that block. So let's go and get replacement cable operated bath waste and swap that out. So just got back from Plumbase, been and picked up off the shelf an Esteem pop-up combi waste. Pretty much the same as what was in. So yeah, this is the culprit. This little box here, it's dripping out of that on the one that is existing at the minute. So what we've got to do is underneath the back here, I can show you on this one actually, there's a little grub screw, see there. So undo that, take the front cap off, undo the back of it, take that off, and then obviously waste, and we'll get the old one off and look at getting the new one on. So undo the little screw that's underneath there, pop that front off, and then that just spins out. To be fair, it looks cracked to that, and that wasn't very tight at all. I think it's been a bit of everything leaking all at the same time. Let's have a look. Let's get that off. Yeah, a little crack in it. Or it's not all the way through, but you could see it. So, to be honest, it's a good job with swapping it out. So with that off there, let's undo the waste. Pop the plug out the top. This is where the lucky chisel comes in. I think we've all got that one chisel that is a chisel and a screwdriver and cuts blocks in half. Basically does the whole lot. So we'll get that off. So these Esteem waste come with a really good rubber washer, I'll show you. So this is what comes with it. So imagine this is the top of the bath. It's an all-in-one sort of washer that sits within the bath. This bit sits on the inside, this bit sits on the outside, and obviously sits into the actual waste trap that then connects onto your bath trap. I just find these really good, so I'm not going to put any sealant on these. I'm just going to put this in as it is and get it all tightened up. And then offer this new one into place. I'll just have to just pull that out of the way for the moment. Just make sure it sits completely flush. And then as you tighten it up, just make sure that that washer is all the way around. Let's pop that back there. Won't tighten it up just yet, but just makes life a little bit easier. And then we just tighten it up with the trusty old wood chisel. And then just reconnect the trap on the bottom. We'll dry out all underneath in a minute. And then our overflow. A thick washer on the back of it like so. You can see that. There we go, like that. And then poke it through. Then if you hold it from the back, get that completely central. Like so. And then get the locking nut on the front. Make sure it's tight so it's not going to leak. Then get the twister button on the front. Then with that all connected up down the back, just give that a test. Pop the plug in the top. Give that a test that works. So what we're going to do now is fill the bath back up like we did before and check that it's not leaking anywhere. Fill it right up to the overflow, run the overflow and make sure it's all alright. Bath is completely full now and we are running through the overflow. Check underneath, everything's okay, all good. So we'll leave that running for a few minutes, make sure it's not leaking out the back here, leaking anywhere down there, and then we'll empty it, we'll twist it, pop the waste up, completely empty it. But I think, touch wood, we're good to go with that. That's what we like to see. And also what we like to see is hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button and getting subscribed to the channel, because this is Real World Plumbing and you must always, when you fit a waste, test your overflows. Let's turn that off. It's been running for a good few minutes now and pop the plug up and dump the bath out, let all the water out of the bath. And we're good to go on the waste, that's fine. We'll keep our eye on that for a couple of minutes. Make sure it's all good. But yeah, another job, well done, typical. Job in job, nice easy job. So I just thought I'd point this out because I know people are gonna either ask about it or say it's nice to see one. Now it is nice to see a blending valve under a bath on the hot water. It's nice to see it because it's regs on new properties. This property's 3 or 4, oh no, probably longer than that, probably 8 years old. So it's good to see that it's there, but they're not great because so many people move into these properties and find out that the bath doesn't get hot. The water coming into the bath isn't hot. So yeah, it's nice to see a blending valve, mixing valve there, but they're not great. Also it's plastic into that, into speed fit. Is it speed fit, John guessed? Hep 2O. And then up into copper, but it is what it is. We're not here to do that. So many people will probably say in the comments, replace all of that. I'm here to do the waste job, and we've done it. It's all working fine. Bath's draining well, so yeah, job done.